I'm going to play this next, Escape from the Planet of the Robot Monsters. It doesn't say anywhere on this box, but this is a SAM Coupé game. It doesn't even say on the floppy disk that it's a SAM Coupé game. And funnily enough, I noticed that this instruction manual again has no mention of the SAM Coupé inside it. So I've got a feeling they've just reused, well, that's in French, but there's no instructions for the SAM Coupé. They've reused the same artwork, the same boxes, the same manuals. So I figure they had all of this for a different version of the game, say the Atari ST version of the game, and they've quickly converted it over to the SAM Coupé. But it is a proper big box full game release for the machine. People waited a long time to get games for the SAM Coupé. The first time I tried this, the game didn't even work, so hopefully it's going to work this time. You can do, actually. You can type boot. It's been a while since I did a SAM Coupé video, but then it's been a while since I bought any new SAM Coupé games. That's a nice loading screen. I'm not sure why there's an option for joystick 2, because there is only one joystick port in the back of the SAM Coupé. But there's the option for 2 players. Okay, so that's the plot. It looks to me as though these pictures here are ZX Spectrum graphics that have been carried over to this version of the game. But you've got proper nice actual SAM Coupé graphics here. Okay, so I'm the red guy, and you can see straight away this is really slow. But that's not the speed of the game, it just slows down a lot when there's a couple of enemies on screen. Oh wow, this is ridiculous. It doesn't really make for a good first impression when right at the start of the game the game slows down to a crawl. The green collectibles does make your shots stronger. You can see down the bottom there where it says ray power. It will make your shot a bit stronger, but it does deplete over time.
It's quite funny really, once you've cleared a screen, the game will just speed up massively compared to what it was, and then you spin around too quickly because the game's got tank controls. So really it's not very good that the game plays at different speeds. So these blue balls are invincible, so you've just got to time it right to get past them. It slows down so much here and I don't really know why. Is it them terminals that are slowing it down? Oh, I turned around too quickly there. Oh yeah, if you press down you have a sort of bomb thing. I think I probably prefer it to be really busy and to slow down a lot than for the game to be really bare and empty. But it is really quite ridiculous. I think this slows down more than the other 8-bit machines. I've got this for the Amstrad and the graphics are a bit more crude and it's missing quite a lot of the intro and the music and stuff, but it doesn't slow down nearly as much on the Amstrad as this, so I don't really know what it is. I can come up with a sort of educated guess. It could be that the SAM Coupé is barely faster than the Spectrum is. It's got sort of the same processor as the Spectrum, but it's clocked at about twice the speed. A little bit less than twice the speed. But on the other hand, it's got much better graphics capabilities. Yeah, so I think the graphics capabilities is what slows down the SAM Coupé. It's not a gaming machine. So it's just a sort of lots of memory and a processor. And then a little graphics chip just to be able to put graphics on the screen, but it doesn't have anything to help you play games, which is very similar to the Spectrum, because I think this was supposed to be an unofficial upgrade to the Spectrum if you were a Spectrum owner. This bit's really annoying. You've got to get your timing right to get past these balls, but then it will just end up spawning an enemy. You see there, and then it just... those blue balls will bounce off the enemy and throw your timing off. Oh wow. Lots and lots of robots. I don't think I lost a life at all to any of these enemies, but I think you can take a few hits. I was kind of roughly aware from reading Retro Gamer magazine that the SAM Coupé was a bit of a flop, in the sense that the company itself needed to sell more machines to stay alive, and they didn't sell enough and they just went bankrupt about 6 months after the machine was first released. There wasn't any games released for it in that 6-month period, but it did end up getting some games. The machine was released really late in 1989. And I think this is one of the first games that was released for it sometime in 1990. And in some ways, it looks like they did put a decent amount of effort into converting it to the SAM Coupé, but in other ways they're a little bit lazy with it. I think what they've done is they've taken the ZX Spectrum game and they've just put 16-bit graphics on top of it. Perhaps they took the graphics from the Amiga and the Atari ST versions of the game. It's sort of halfway between an 8-bit and a 16-bit game. Which is what you could say about the SAM Coupé. It's halfway between an 8-bit and a 16-bit machine. I did have a look at a video of the other versions of the game, including the original version, which was an arcade game by Atari. I don't think they've taken any of the graphics or the music from the arcade version. And the arcade version seems to have more directions that you can face as well. I don't know what people felt about this game. I think people would have been really happy to get a proper game released on their SAM Coupé. But in hindsight, this game it's okay, but it's not really amazing. Would you have been blown away by the graphics? Or would you have been disappointed that it's not as good as the 16-bit machines? I don't really know. It might have been really good fun in 2-player, but I can imagine it really slowing down in 2-player. That is Escape from the Planet of the Robot Monsters. I think I said that right. For the SAM Coupé, great that I have another SAM Coupé game, but unfortunately it's not really an amazing game. It's a little bit of fun, I suppose. It's just not that great. But there we go. That's the end of the video. Goodbye.